Welcome back to the Check Complete podcast. Glad to have you. This episode is going to be on pregame. Yeah, pregame, huh? Is it important? What do you think?
Do you need it?
Do you need it? Does it help you? Or is it just a 7-letter word?
Helps most of us.
It helps most of us.
Is that 7 letters? I didn't count it.
So yeah,
is 7
I
letters.
came up
Man.
real fast. Yeah, no, real quick with that.
This guy's smart as a whip over
Is it
here.
important to have a pregame? And what is a pregame? Talk to me. Tell me what a pregame is.
Isn't that when you talk to the coaches and do the coin toss?
That's okay. So I had a game. That's why I told you this. A couple of weeks ago, I had a game in the local league. Worked with two very inexperienced referees, teenagers, and I looked at them. And we actually had some time between games. Usually it's like 30 seconds or less, right, between games. We had like 10 minutes.
It's ridiculous.
We had 10 minutes between games, and the teams were
That's
they
almost
were already
unheard
checked
of
in
these days.
So I said, "Hey, do you guys know what a pregame is?" And the girl looked at me and was like, "Oh, is that when you go talk to the coaches and the captains?" I'm like, "Well, that also
usually happens
before the
pregame.
pregame,
Yeah.
but
You're right.
I'm talking about the pregame between the referees, so that we all on the same page, and you do it exactly as I say. No, but
Don't call anything in the
don't
penalty
call
area.
it. Well, I mean, we can go into what our pregames usually are. Have you had one recently? I know you're just getting back into refereeing
Well, I had one in the fall.
in the fall, so it's
Yeah.
been a while. I'll let you think about that. Then.
I'm out of practice.
I'll let you give you a little bit of time to think about it, and we can talk about what our pregames usually entail. All right, so do you always have to have a pregame?
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say yes.
I would say
Some sort of a
some
pregame.
sort of pregame.
Some
yes.
sort of a
Now, if you're working with a crew with 2 referees or 3 referees that you know very well, and you work together a ton, and you're very comfortable with each other and each other's refereeing, that's probably less of a need to cover some things, but there probably is still a need to be talking about certain things, right? If you're in playoff time, what if we're tied at the end of the game, right? What's the
duration of
what's the duration of the overtime, that kind of thing, for sure.
It's good to know.
For league games, there is different time of the halves per age group, right? So like 15, 16s play 35 minutes. Oh, no, it's 40 minutes for 15, 16s. And then the older ones play 45s, and younger ones play.
It's different for tournaments,
right? You need to know the length of your half before you get started.
I do have a real quick.
Yeah.
I was mentoring yesterday.
Oh boy.
And this may be not yesterday when you guys see this, but we were doing hydration breaks.
Mm-hmm.
And this was a U11 game.
Okay.
And we're close to the end of the half. And I had a coach, I was mentoring. I had a coach come over and ask me, did I miss something? Aren't we supposed to keep the clock running during the hydration break? So the referee, who was a young gentleman, stopped the clock when they did the hydration break.
How did the coach know this?
Because he started his watch.
Okay. So after the game, or after the half.
So it was like a good minute and a half when he asked me. Because he had a sub up there, and he told me, hey, I pulled a sub back because there was like 20 seconds left in the half. And so at halftime, I asked the referee, and yes, he did stop his watch during hydration break. So we corrected that.
So that would have been something they could have talked about maybe in their
Yes.
pregame, and to be on the same page.
Don't always just assume they know.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, what if there's no time to have a pregame? Like I said, sometimes you run into those local league games where there really isn't any time between games. What do you do there? And
Well,
again, you're trying to be on the same page with everybody, right? With
Yes.
your crew. So let me back up just a little bit. So for my pregame, what I like to do is I like to, and again, you're working with less experienced referees. It's going to be a little bit longer, a little bit more involved, right? So I usually talk about the importance of us being on the same page as far as throw-in signals.
Yep.
Okay. So what I usually tell them in your half, I'm going to let you lead the signal for throw-ins. I will give you soft signals down low to if you're unsure, but I'm going to let you lead the signal in your half. I'll lead the signal and over here on the other side, right? And if I need help, if I'm not sure, I will let you know. And the way I let you know, my eyes get really big. I will
stare at you for 10 seconds.
Not 10 seconds. It goes quick, but
yeah, I get you.
I usually tell them, you will know if I need help. Because I'm going to look at you, I will point you, I will probably say your name. And that's, time for you to step up and help me out. I will talk about calling fouls in front of them and how the fouls against the attacker, the ones coming out, they can be a lot quicker, right? Just call them quick. If you see it happens. Just
coming out.
Pop your flag up. The fouls coming in, just be a little bit more patient. See what happens if the player keeps going, keeps the attack going. We want to try to avoid having that AR with a flag up.
Right.
So a little bit more patience. And this is a pregame, and different pregames for different referees, right? So if it's somebody that is clearly not very experienced, I will say anything in the penalty area. The only times I want you to call a foul is if you see it happening, it's a clear foul that you and everybody else sees, but for some reason I'm not in position, or for some reason I couldn't see it. But if you have a clear foul that 100% you can stand behind, that has to be called, and if we don't call this foul, it's a tragedy against the game of soccer. Okay,
I would agree with that.
That's when I want you to step up, look where I am, and if I'm not making any suggestion, like any motion to say no foul, but if I act like I'm not seeing it or I'm not reacting to it,
playing as usual,
then call the foul. Or if I actively ask for your help. And again, this is how I do. I get really big, I point to you and I'll say your name.
Yeah.
And that's step up and call it at that point.
I think one point that I would add to that too is just I tend to ask them to pay attention to what I am calling.
Okay.
And make sure if you're going to pop your flag, it needs to be consistent with how I'm running play.
Yeah, absolutely. And aside from that, there may be some things like if players on the other side and I see a clear deflection, a clear play by the defender on the ball, and I see offside flag going up, I'll say defender, and basically wave your flag down. Yeah. For you to get back in position. And if there's substitution, AR1, there may be some talk about, I expect the subs to be there and not just run up at a stoppage. Just to keep things the way it's supposed to be. Subs need to be there ready to go when the ball goes out.
So if you don't have time, let's say we got 2 minutes of game time because league games run back to back to back. Could you take an opportunity to walk out with your crew to midfield?
As we're walking, we're going to be talking.
Okay.
And I will try to, again, younger referees, not as experienced, maybe they haven't had a pregame before. I will let them know before we start walking out there, hey, I'm going to talk about some things that I want you to do or not to do.
So pay attention.
Basically.
Look at me.
Yeah. Those are probably the really basics when you don't have a whole lot of time. So basically you vary your pregame depending on who you're with, right? So if you're with somebody that you work a ton with, games and those kind of things that I just talked about, call fouls in front of you, that kind of stuff. That doesn't need to be talked to anybody anymore because we've done games so many times together. It's kind of second nature. Now we're talking maybe more about other specific things, or maybe it's something I've been working on recently, something different that I want you to help me out with, or but yeah,
for sure.
the more experience your crew is, the less detailed your pregame needs to be. But there should be some talk about,
and that is kind of nice sometimes too.
Yeah,
it when you do have a weird situation.
But think about this: we're doing so many games that are of USSF.
Mm-hmm.
We're doing the alphabet soup leagues. We're doing maybe high school, maybe we're
Right.
doing college. Different rules, right? I like to, especially during the fall season when I'm jumping back and forth between college and high school, this kind of, and half the time I'm talking to myself anyway, but I might be just talking a little bit loud about, hey,
Like he's doing right now.
let's remember, there's no overtime if we're tied at the end of the game in college now, right? High school, we still go to overtime, right? College, we don't. So those kind of things, the differences in competitions in the rules, and just kind of refresh them in your minds.
Right.
What if you totally just skip a pregame? If you're working with somebody, maybe you haven't worked together. It's pretty clear what the bad things are going to happen.
Skip
right?
the pregame and hope for the best.
And
I
skip and pray.
I would not recommend that.
Okay. Well, only bad things are going to happen, right?
I feel like
unless you get lucky.
I feel like in the instance where games are crammed together, like you said, that initial walk with your crew out to midfield to get the game started is probably the best opportunity to have some sort of pregame. And make it your top maybe 2 or 3 points that you want them to discuss or pay attention to.
Look at it from this perspective. So, we both have facial hairs. We're in our, we're in our
They've lost some color.
We're in our mid-30s.
Oh, easily
mid-30s. I mean, not
upper
much,
30s.
not much older than that, for sure. But we're clearly adults, and we're working with teenagers who are possibly intimidated working with us. Right? They can sense that. Ooh, wow, this is a real referee here, and he's going to be sick.
He told me to tuck my shirt in.
Yeah, and I did. I actually did do that. Yes. So here's an opportunity for you to kind of ease the conversation a little bit and just make them feel a little bit more comfortable too. Yeah. Right. And build up a little bit of confidence on their side too. So it's not just about talking. I want you to do this, and don't do this. But just let them know that you're all on the same team. And you're working together to.
Yeah, because ultimately it makes your lives better.
Of course,
the more you're on the same page.
Yeah. So I think this might be a good time. Do you want to go to Drew's piece on pregame and see what Drew? So Drew
Klemp again,
our national referee from Kansas, brand new. Well, I say brand new. It's been a couple months now. FIFA futsal referee. So he's got one of his fancy white badges.
White badge.
Yeah. He has a take on pregame, and we're going to check it out right now.
Hello, Check Complete podcasters. We're going to talk about pre-games here real quick. So, in your pre-game, what should you talk about with your crew? I'm going to go through a few basic things and not get really into the weeds. Talk about recent law changes. So, for example, right now, talk about goalkeeper 8-second rule, how we're going to do that as a team. Talk about the new dropped ball rule, how we're going to implement that as a team. Talk about specific rules of competition, especially if they've changed recently or if they're kind of odd. So, like in some leagues that I work, we have timed substitutions or we have an on-field treatment rule. Talk about if there's only the captain protocol. Talk about all these different platform leagues have different substitution rules, perhaps about if there's re-entry or not, or how many substitutions are allowed or how many moments are allowed and what counts as a moment. If the game is tied, what happens after the tie? All things to talk about during your pregame. if you have communication devices available for your game, whether that be, radios or like beeper flags, what should your crew expect from you, and then what should you expect from your crew as far as communication and involvement. Things to talk about, offside communication during live play, offside communication during dead balls, penalty area incidents, off-ball incidents, mass confrontations, and then shared decisions between you and an assistant referee, or between you and a fourth official, and how and when you'd like them to communicate. If you don't have communication devices, think about soft signals, think about nonverbal communication, and when to get involved, publicly versus privately, with the flag versus with body language. Pregame's a good time to talk about trauma items without naming names. Last year I had this game where this referee did so-and-so, and this is how it could have been done better. So if it happens today, this would be a good thing for this specific scenario. When your crew is more experienced or not as well experienced, or perhaps more familiar or less familiar with you, think about balancing between telling people how to do their job versus talking to people about how we can best work together for that specific game. So you could be talking tactics about teams, or trends in the game, or whatever it is, but you might be out at a local league and you might be working with someone on their second day ever on the job. So you might have to trend more towards offsides, reverse priority, in and out of play, that type of pregame, versus today we're seeing so and so team and they play this formation and they like to go down the sides, yada yada. So you kind of have to tailor it to what the setting is for the day. And then how to get people on the same page and why this is important. When we go out there, it's either 3 or 4 of us against the world. No one else is really rooting for us. So we've got to be on the same page to be able to get the calls right together and look good doing it. So I think a way that you can get buy-in from your crew, that we're all on the same page there at the end of your pregame, something I like to say is, how can I make your life easier today? Because it is a discussion. So if you're a referee and you're doing 99% of the talking in a pregame, it's probably not going to be a very successful day. So while you are the leader of the team, it is still a team. And so if your assistant referees or your fourth official has trauma items to talk about, or they have questions about your expectations, or things that help make their life easier that referees could do, then we should get that out on the table before we go out to the game. So how can I make your life easier is a good way to get that team cohesion before we go out there and get thrown to the wolves for the day. So that is kind of the 101 on pre-games.
All right. Well, good stuff there from
really
Drew.
Good stuff. Yes.
Yeah, really, very detailed. And a lot of that is probably very applicable to the higher level games. Again, if you don't have a whole lot of time for a pregame at all,
you're probably not covering.
Yeah, you can
a lot of that.
Yes. Find what works for you. So a few things I've taken away that might help those younger referees, the local league, would be just be aware of the law changes, right? So we had a few of them with the 8-second rule on the goalkeeper when they have possession, and make sure that we're on the same page on that. The drop ball change, where now the team that would have gotten possession, when you blow the whistle, you drop the ball to them, rather than before it was the last touch. That was a change. And the only the captain initiative of letting everybody know that you're happy to discuss things. That's not with everybody.
Do you like that one?
I have kind of always done that, to be honest.
You're a pioneer.
Well, no, I'll talk to anybody on the field. It doesn't have to be a captain. I'm not smart enough to talk to 3, 4, 5 people at the same time.
No, my brain My brain doesn't work
and that's
like that.
usually what I tell people. It's like, if you guys have an issue, and like in high school, we're required to have like a pregame with the
Yep.
coaches and referee and the captains, and I will tell them. And I usually only do this in a boys game because during a gold season, it's not usually an issue. But boys can be pretty rambunctious and like the yeah.
Are you sure?
So I will usually say, I'm happy to talk to anybody but a call if you have a question about it. The only thing I ask, I only talk to one person. It doesn't have to be the captain. But if I'm already explaining something to you, I don't need him come in and ask me the same thing. Right?
You don't need the goalkeeper from 40 yards away to come discuss it.
Right. No, I'll talk to if that's their leader of the team
like
or
that.
the captain.
Establishes
that's fine.
an expectation.
And that's it on the high school level, even on the college level. That's something I will actually tell the captains. It's like,
yeah,
I'll talk to anybody if you have a question for me.
as long as it's respectful.
Well,
and it's
one
of you.
Yeah. So
I like that.
So that's a big one, yeah. And just the competition that you're refereeing in. We've already mentioned this before. Specific things. What's the procedure for a tied game at the end of the match?
Yep.
Do you go straight to kicks? How long is your overtime? Is there an overtime? Can you have a tie? Those kind of things. So you need to know what game you're refereeing and how long this game is going to be, right? So, and everybody else needs to know too. I mean, you expecting the captains to know. They might come at the end of the game. It's like, hey, is there going to be overtime? But if you've already talked about it before, then you probably touched on it already, right? Yeah. So the one piece that I really liked about Drew's take on pregame is not making it the referee talking to the ARs.
Yes.
It needs to be.
It's a team effort.
It's a team effort. It needs to be. It's a group effort. Yeah. Everybody needs to have a word in here. The ARs need to be comfortable asking questions.
Mm-hmm.
And you let them know by opening up the conversation like that, yes, you're in charge, but you're wanting their input, you're wanting their help so that the team can succeed in the end, right? So
I think as an AR, you have to establish an expectation from your referee as well.
Yeah.
So if this happens, how are we going to handle that?
Have you ever been in a game where you're the AR and there's no pregame and you feel like there should be something?
So you're talking about maybe a less experienced referee and I'm the AR with the most experience?
That, maybe?
I would probably say a couple of times.
Yeah.
Not very
What
often.
do you do? Do you speak up? Do you say, hey, should we talk about some things? Or
Well, I mean, I would probably frame it as, just a question. Say, hey, if we've got this scenario, how would you like me to communicate that to you? And then maybe that opens up.
yeah, absolutely.
Maybe that opens up something for you as AR2,
Mm-hmm.
who now can, okay, what about this? And then maybe the referee kind of
sure.
picks up on that little hint.
Maybe
And
the referee that maybe he's not quite, or she is not quite as experienced as you, doesn't realize that it should be a pregame. Maybe could be, right?
I mean, they don't really discuss that, when you get done taking your test and you're.
Well, that's why we're
given a
talking about it
badge
right
and-
here and right now.
That's
my
right.
friend.
They need to watch this and plug in.
So yes, if you're the AR and your referee isn't about to have a pregame with you, and you feel like there's something that you probably need to know to do your job better, to be an effective part of the team.
Yeah, for sure. Open that communication.
Talk. Yeah, I'd say something. If you see something, say something.
It's a good rule to live by. Not just in
No, at the
not
airport,
just on the
airport.
pitch.
Okay, very good. So I can't speak enough phrases about Jeff Swartzel.
He's kind of a cool guy.
He's pretty cool.
He has made a decision.
And I do want everybody to know he is not being paid for this.
He has made a decision to help us out and make videos for this little production that we're doing here. And
did I mention that he's not getting paid for this?
He's not getting paid.
There's no promises made towards him for his efforts, and we greatly appreciate it. Jeff, thank you so much.
His reward is our appreciation.
Yes. And I hope
whether he agrees.
It probably doesn't mean much, but thank you, Jeff.
Thank you, Jeff, so much.
Here's Jeff Swartzel's take on pregame.
Hi, everyone. MLS Assistant Referee Jeff Swartzel here again. And today we're going to talk about a pregame. I get asked all the time about what kinds of things you should or shouldn't cover in a pregame, or what we cover at the MLS level. So today, I'm going to go through a list of topics that you might want to include in your next pregame to help set your team up for success. The first thing I'll tell you is that every single game needs one. Whether you're working your very first youth game or you're working the MLS Championship Final, every game requires a pregame. We use that opportunity to come together as a crew and set expectations and have clear deliverables on what each person in the team is going to do for that day. It's a great time to talk about how you'll work together. How will you communicate? Some games will have radios and some games won't. So how will you communicate with each other during the critical moments that require input from more than one official? Will you use a flag? Will you have a silent signal? Will you position yourself in such a way so that your teammates might know what you're trying to communicate? How and also when will you communicate is just as important. If you're using radios, when would you want me to use my flag versus use my voice? When will you be the lead official and when will I be the lead official? Setting those expectations avoids confusion during the match and will also lead you to not cross each other's signals or give conflicting information when it's not required. Most of the time, the pregame is led by the referees, but sometimes the ARs need to contribute as well. I always like to ask questions in my pregames to understand truly what the referee is going to need from me to help do their job the best. And I also like to communicate what I need from them to help me do my job. We definitely need to cover the specific challenges of the match. Are there problem players that we've dealt with in the past, and what's our plan for dealing with them today? How will we handle the coaches in the technical area, especially in games without fourth officials? How will we communicate to each other persistent offenses and players that might be getting near a caution? What about those tricky offside situations that might need information from the referee or the assistant referee to determine interfering with an opponent or an extra touch? Is there any history between these two teams? Do you have any personal history refereeing either of these teams? Is there any impact to the match? Is this a playoff match where the winner goes through, or does goal differential matter? How will you indicate added time for games without fourth officials, or how will you come up with added time and make sure that the whole crew is aligned? And last, are there any specific competition expectations? The MLS has many rules that aren't used in all the other leagues in the world. So we like to make sure that we are clear on all the administration requirements that the competition has. Lastly, it's a chance for us to come together as a team and make the first call the best call. Hopefully, you've taken some of these tips and you can work them into your next pregame. Thanks again.
All right. So, wow. Good stuff from Jeff.
Thank you, Jeff.
Yeah. Excellent. So, some of these things we've already talked about, you're setting the expectations for the team, right?
Right.
And if you have teenage referees, ARs with you that aren't very experienced, that's a time where you can give them a little bit of confidence and that, feeling, hey, I'm part of this team. I want to succeed and hopefully get them to open up just a little bit and, be part of the team and help out, right? So, not crossing the signals. That's something that I talked about.
Yeah.
With the throwing signals.
I love soft signals.
Yeah.
100%.
Soft signals done here. I'll show you left and right. This is what I think. But if I always tell them if I'm showing this way and you're like, this guy's crazy, we're going this way. Whatever signal you give with your flag, with confidence, should put it up like you mean it.
I had a young crew here recently that were using soft signals, and it was really cool to see.
Okay,
because I don't know who showed them that. I don't know. Somewhere along the line or along the way they learned it,
trickle down somewhere, right?
And it was cool to watch.
Yeah.
Because they just took their time, made eye contact. They knew which way each other was going.
It's a time
Makes
to
it
come
super
together
simple.
as a team, and ultimately we want everybody on the crew to be working towards the same goal. To be successful.
Yeah.
You don't want somebody being offended or not feel like they have a say and now they're sulking over there and like, I'm not going to put my flag up for this guy.
Flag.
So you try to get everybody on the same page and work together. So like Jeff said, make the first call the best call and you go from there, right? So
Yeah, keep it simple.
all right. Well, thanks for
I do have one request.
I thought we were ready to
If any of you out there would like to send us a short video of your pregame,
go. Okay. Yeah,
I think we could work that in somehow.
absolutely.
And Mark doesn't know this, but I've got a prize for the best one that we pick. And I'm going to show it to you right now.
Okay.
Released in 1990, we've got a Sawyer Brown. Can you see that there? I've got a Sawyer Brown Greatest Hits CD.
That is not yours to give away. That is my CD.
That
Put
was
back
dropped
over
in
there.
1990. And this could be yours if you give us the best pregame.
You got to step that step, walk that walk. Yeah, that's okay.
That's good.
I'm
Those
dating
teenagers
I'm dating
don't know
myself.
anything
All right.
about
Well,
that.
thanks. Thank you for interrupting me so rudely.
Yeah, absolutely.
We just appreciate it.
It's my style.
There's more CDs down there, isn't there?
Yeah, there's a Garth Brooks box set back here.
Anyway, please subscribe, leave comments. We want conversation coming back to us. If you have any topics you want us to cover, anybody that you want us to talk to, we'll do our best to. We have a few contacts on even at the pro level, so we can try to make that happen.
Let us know what you think.
Yeah, give us some feedback. Honest would be best.
Yeah, we can take it.
We can take it. So
I mean, we give each other enough feedback on everything. So
thanks for watching. I think we're done then.
yeah, we're
Check
done.
complete.
Bye. Check complete.